to overtime. Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 3OT. We, of course, had our, 2.5-hour-long mock draft for football a few days ago with Sam. But now we're going to bring back some stalwarts of the 3OT to talk about the James Harden trade. Please welcome back Kevin and Patrick. Say hi.
Yo.
You.
There you go. Of course, James Harden has wanted to be traded for a while now, since the start of the season. Everything went to shit in Houston. And we finally got a deal after Harden said that, you know what, he was done, that it just wasn't going to work in Houston and all of that. John Wall and Boogie Cousins were talking shit about him. It was an absolute garbage fire. That being said, the Rockets traded James Harden to the Nets. This was a 4-team deal. The Rockets got Dante Exum, Rodion Kurucs from the Nets, Victor Oladipo from the Pacers, of course, 4 first-round picks, all unprotected, 3 of them from the Nets, and 1 of them from
Milwaukee.
the Bucks via the Cavs, and 4 pick swaps, all unprotected from the Nets. The Pacers traded Victor Oladipo to the Rockets, got back Karis LeVert from the Nets and a second-round pick from the Rockets. The Nets get James Harden and a second-round pick from the Cavs, I believe. And the Cavs got Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince from the Nets, and all they traded for it was Dante Exum and a Bucks first-round pick. So before we get into the trade, Harden's fit on the Nets and, what the Rockets do, I want to ask you guys, who won the trade the most of the 4 teams involved?
Who want to go first? You want to go first, Kevin?
Yeah, bro, you can go ahead. You can go first.
I think the Rockets and the Cavs did well. I think the Rockets got, considering how much he kind of ruined his trade value. I think they got a lot considering all that. 4 draft picks, 4 pick swaps, Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
Who else they get?
Rodion Kurucs, who's a power forward for the Nets, who played a lot his first year and hasn't played a lot since. And Dante Exum, who I think the Jazz took him at like 11th overall, and he's just been a strong whatever.
Yeah.
He's like rookie Rudy Gobert as a point guard.
Yeah. So, the Rockets and Cavs did well. The Cavs basically just got Jarrett Allen for free. So
yeah, they got Jarrett Allen.
They did what they had to do. And I think the Rockets, they got a big return, considering, nobody was going to give up. You're not going to get equal value for Harden. Nobody's going to give you a better player.
Yeah.
So considering that, they did well. I like what they got. They did well. 8 draft picks. They basically took all the Nets assets. They did well. And as far as the Nets go, we shall see if they won that trade.
Yeah.
It won't be known until the end of the season.
Yeah. Kevin, how you feel about this? Who won?
I'll be honest with you. I kind of agree. I personally think it's a little bit too early to be thinking that because, I don't know. I saw on Twitter that this came out. Sean Marks said that he got comments from Kyrie and KD saying that they're willing to make on-court sacrifices. I'm not too sure how much I believe that because obviously KD's been off the radar for like a bit.
You mean Kyrie? But yeah.
You mean Kyrie?
Oh yeah. But if it works out, hey, look, that's a big 3, and
that's a huge 3 right there.
It is, and we haven't really seen a big 3 not make it to the finals, so it'd be pretty disappointing if the Nets don't make it. I do also like the Cavs pickups though. They really, they didn't, give up much. They actually got Jared Allen, who's a solid center, but I don't know what it does for them because now they got, three
Six
whole.
Well, they got
center.
younger. They got yeah.
They did, but I mean, like, what? I'm surprised the Nets didn't like maybe ask for, I don't know, JaVale McGee or something like that. But at least they have like another center aside from DeAndre Jordan if they're trying to win now. But yeah.
The
T-Rough,
way
you want to
I
give your
see it,
opinion?
the two teams. Huh?
No, talk.
All right. Well, the way I see it, the two teams that had nothing to do with the actual James Harden trade won. I think the Cavs getting Jared Allen, who I think is a high end starter, Torian Prince, who's a decent bench guy, for Dante Exum and a late 20s first round pick is an absolute steal. I think getting rid of Victor Oladipo, who's about to be a free agent and clearly did not want to be on the Pacers anymore, and getting back Karis LeVert, who I think is a younger, much cheaper, and slightly worse version of Victor Oladipo, is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Yeah, they gave up nothing, and they got a version of Oladipo that fits the timeline of Sabonis and Miles Turner. So,
Yeah. I
look,
think LeVert's gonna go off on Pacers. I think he's going off.
Can't
I
wait to
think
see it's a bonus. That's gonna
yeah,
be fun.
LeVert and Sabonis, that pick and roll is going to be fun as hell to watch because they're both like so skilled in what they do. So,
Mm-hmm.
aside from that, I think the Rockets got a decent haul. Literally everyone they got costs either under $1 million per year or is a free agent at the end of this year. Dante Exum is on an $11 million deal, but he's a free agent after this year. Victor Oladipo is on a $27 million deal, I think, and he's a free agent after this year. So maybe the Rockets are just trying to clear up cap space and they're happy with the picks. Even then, I probably would have wanted Ben Simmons instead of, all this random stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, I think the Rockets could have done better with getting a different getting a better package that wasn't just first round picks. And I think the Nets, no one's playing defense here. And when you look at a playoff run, which is where defense matters, defense doesn't matter in the regular season, it matters in a playoff run. Look, Kevin Durant during one playoff run, if everything goes like as it seems it might for the Nets, is going to have to defend Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Who knows? Jaylen Brown will probably be matched up with Harden if that happens. If they go against the Heat, he's going to have to be the one defending Bam. If not, it's Jeff Green. Like, come on. And then worst case scenario, if they go against the Bucks, the only player on that team who can do anything to remotely match up with Giannis is KD. So KD is going to have to take on such a defensive load that it just kind of doesn't make sense to me. So I saw people on Twitter talking about how great it was that they kept Dinwiddie, but Dinwiddie is out for the season with an ACL, so he physically could not be traded. But I don't know. I think of how the teams did. First place, I'd have the Cavs. Second, I've had the Pacers. Third, I'd have the Rockets because they were in a bad situation anyway, and then fourth, I'd have the Nets.
That's a good about. I mean, all I hope is that this isn't just like a. I mean, it probably won't be that bad, but it's just not a repeat of
The KG
Of what?
Paul Pierce trade.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be that considering Harden.
Yeah.
They're all in their
Harden,
prime.
Harden is a 31-year-old MVP candidate. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett were 35 and 36 respectively.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not gonna be like that bad. I mean, it's for quite a couple of years that they lost. They gave up their picks, so
Yeah.
we'll see. And even then, there was some rumors about like Victor Oladipo just even wanting to get traded before he even becomes a free agent. More specifically to Miami.
Well, he wants to be in Miami.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Miami knows that, so they're not going to trade for him. But